We've been conditioned to think that bigger is better, but I can assure you that's not always the case.
You gotta be really careful in these areas because if this tide drops out, we're stranded.
This right here is where I find my God.
Sometimes a smaller boat opens up a bigger world, but let's not get too comfortable here. It's not always fun and games. Navigating out here can get bad really, really quick.
Oh, there's a shark right there.
Oh no! Get in, get in!
Hurry up and come over. Hurry up, come over right next to me.
This definitely does present a big risk to our boat versus having it tied up to a dock. There ain't no towboat US out here.
Now, even though this is something we don't recommend, adventure isn't measured in boat length. It's about leaving your comfort zone where others don't want to reach.
So here we go.
Here we are.
We don't recommend this, first and foremost.
No, but we are prepared with safety equipment. And one thing I do want to say is on a beautiful day like this, there's boats everywhere here in the Florida Keys. So what we're going to do is we're going to get away from the boat traffic.
That's right.
And go somewhere completely isolated, which I'm so excited.
And to be more specific, the boat is pointed towards North Andros. There's absolutely nothing there as far as big fancy resorts. This is the Bahamas in the most natural form of beauty, which in my opinion, in some ways is the way that it's supposed to be. But as you guys can see, we're in the Pathfinder. A lot of shallow areas around Andros. It's not really friendly towards big boats. I think we have the perfect weather, and I think it should make for a pretty awesome trip, as long as everything goes as planned. But got about 140 miles to go, and you guys are here with us every step of the way. All right, so we're at our halfway point right now. We stopped for a little bathroom break. And as you guys can see, for once, the weatherman got it right. And this is ideal bay boat Bahamas crossing conditions right here. But for the most part, everything we have is in the front of the boat. Most importantly, we have a life raft in this front hatch right here. God forbid if we needed to ditch the boat, that's essentially our lifeline. Got all of our drinks right here. We have all of our food right here. And then we have plenty of extra water in here in addition to what's in the cooler. Water is probably the most important part of all of this. We have a GPS tracker in the boat. We have family members back at home tracking us every step of the way. So that's a big one. We do have communication. We have a Garmin In Reach. I actually have a link for one of those down in the video description. Very important to have some type of communication. But Stephanie and I, we actually took it a step further and we invested in Starlink. So we're sending text messages, making phone calls, FaceTiming when we're on the go here, which is absolutely fantastic. And then we have all of our luggage, most of our dry storage right here inside of this hatch. And like I said, majority of the weight's towards the front to try to get the boat to run as level as possible. But in conditions like this, doesn't really matter because the boat is running perfect because there's basically no wave action. But like I said, we're at the halfway point. We have about another 75 miles that way until we reach Andros. I'm so excited, guys, because having a tool like this boat over in the Bahamas, you're essentially limitless when you have weather like this. So next time we'll see you guys is on the Bahama Bank. Well, it sure did calm down, didn't it? Conditions went from good to great, and honestly, I didn't think it was gonna get any better than it did, but it did, which is awesome, guys. I mean, things have just shaped out to be perfect so far. You know, we're averaging around 35 miles an hour, even though we probably could go a little faster. We're about halfway on the Bahama Bank. Got about probably 30 more miles till we make it to Andros. We burned about 50 gallons so far. What do you think? What do you have to say from the wife's perspective?
I'm excited because the last time we were even on Andros Island, we flew over. So it's great to be back on our personal boat, but also on the bay boat, you know? Well, our only boat at this moment.
To say that I'm not a little nervous, I'd be a liar if I said I wasn't. Just because we don't really know what to expect. This portion of the Bahamas is very remote. We don't even have a dock to park the boat at. We have to moor it off the beach. So things can definitely get interesting, but with the weather being like this and a little bit of hope, pretty sure it's gonna be a pretty awesome trip. So I can't wait to get over there, and before you know it, we'll see you guys on the beach at the Airbnb in Andros. Looks like we've reached a dead end.
Well, this is where the adventure begins.
Began once we left the dock.
Well, when you gotta figure out how to get around.
I'll tell you what, you cannot mess up here though. There ain't no towboat US out here.
There's only a few places that you can go that feel this remote. This right here is where I find my God, right out here. There's no distractions, there's nothing going on except relaxation.
I got advice to go around the north side of all of this, but
Like,
I'm a little hard-headed sometimes.
sometimes?
Yeah. Hopefully this next channel leads us to where we want to be. So we made it to North Andros. How's it feel, Stephanie?
It feels great. You know, first thing I notice is it's not overdeveloped. You know, we don't really have anything to our right or to our left for a little while, which is
It feels
nice.
kind of remote.
It does feel remote, which is nice. Clay took a nice little car ride over to Customs and cleared us in, and he said, it's like, Stephanie, you would love it.
It's really pretty. Like, there's a lot of pine trees. Like, it almost reminds me of where I grew up in South Florida, but at the same time, you have all this beautiful Bahamian water. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little different. It's out of our comfort zone. You know, typically when we go to the Bahamas, there's a little more going on. There's some tourists. We tend to go to places that are pretty populated, but there's really not much going on around here.
But I feel like that's what brings the adventure. When you kind of get in a remote place, you don't see a lot of people. For me, that's what I enjoy about the Bahamas.
The boat situation does sketch me out a little bit. If storms were to kick up, this definitely does present a big risk to our boat versus having it tied up to a dock. However, I do feel a little bit more at ease because the boat is insured over here in the Bahamas, and that's actually something that's kind of difficult for bay boats. A lot of insurance providers actually don't want to insure bay boats over in the Bahamas. We actually insure our boats with HH insurance, so in case this is something that you guys want to do, I would definitely give them a call. Most importantly, because they have really good rates. And I already know a lot of you guys watching have saved money with HH, so these guys can really help you guys out. But we're here, we're making it happen, and there's no turning back right now. We're on a full-fledged North Andros adventure. First morning over here in Andros. How's it been so far, Stephanie?
It was wonderful. I mean, we were able to sleep in and just enjoy the peace and quiet of the Bahamas.
I'll tell you what.
First thing this morning.
Yeah, walking out on that beach, I mean, honestly, that was exactly what I had in mind when we decided to stay where we're staying. I'd say one of the biggest reasons why we came here was to try and catch some bonefish. And
listen, I just feel like if you put me in the right spot, like I can figure it out. I have pretty good luck, Clay.
that's the biggest thing. As you guys know, you bring Stephanie along, you catch fish. That's just the way it goes.
But speaking of fish, now in the Bahamas, you didn't have to purchase a fishing license. It came with your permit, but now you actually have to buy one, right?
It was $100.
Yeah.
In addition to all the other fees. It used to cost us $150 to bring this boat here. Now it costs us $800. Between anchorage fees, since we didn't park the boat at a dock, fishing permits and just cruising permit. We don't need to get into all that. It's a beautiful day. Let's go see what we can find. This is pretty unbelievable right here. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before ever in my life. This is pretty dreamy right here. It almost doesn't even feel real. And the water is just crystal clear. You can see so much. And you gotta be really careful in these areas because if this tide drops out, we're stranded. And another thing is too, is just because you come in here one day, doesn't mean it's gonna be the same the next day because a lot of this sand shifts with the tide coming in and out. So this may be a shallow area today, tomorrow it may be deep, and then another day, the deep area could be shallow. So this is definitely some expert level type stuff up in here. Oh look, there's bonefish right there. Pretty crazy, guys. I can literally see the bonefish tailing on the edge of this flat, but we just tore off the tail. And we're gonna go in just like that. That should get him. Now I'm gonna go up in the tower and see if we can trolling motor up to him. So cool because we're hunting these fish right here. And you wanna try to be as quiet as possible so you don't spook them. And so what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to cast past them and lead them so they smell the shrimp and just eat it. All right, here we go. Oh, they're going after it. Got one! Got him! Got a bonefish! Mission accomplished, baby!
Hey, it's not accomplished until you get him to the boat.
That is true, that is true. Wow, man. Holy moly, he has no idea what's going on. This fish has never been hooked before. Unbelievable.
Do you need an assist?
Nah, I got it. That's so crazy.
You want to go to the front?
Yeah. As much as I want to scream right now, I don't want to be loud because I don't want to spook these guys any more than we already did. Oh, that's so awesome right there, guys. Talk about a way to start the trip, guys. That's epic. That is so cool. I can still see the school right there too. Now I know why people get addicted to bone fishing.
It's the scenery and the fishing.
I'll tell you what, it's much easier in the Bahamas. So you want to lift them out real nice and easy for a shot just like that. And then we're gonna remove that hook and then send him on his way. That's it right there. He's ready to go. That's one of the coolest things we've done in a little while. Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna get you one now. Yes!
They're right over there. Dude, that's so cool watching them tail.
Right? What I think is insane is just how we're in a 27-foot Pathfinder right now.
Oh, they're going for it.
There you go.
There we go.
Stephanie's got one.
Oh.
There you go, Stephanie. Good job.
This is so cool. Oh yeah, baby. Dude, the other bonefish aren't even moving.
I know.
That's so awesome. Wild. Let's see. Look, there he is. There he is. Coming up.
Good job, Stephanie. That's awesome.
Bahamian bonefish. Wow.
That's one of the hardest fighting flats fish that you could possibly catch pound for pound.
Look at that fish. I hooked him good. That was so cool. All right, look at this. They don't have teeth, right?
Razor sharp. Nice job, Stephanie.
Look at that.
Way to handle them too.
Ooh, oh, there he goes. to swim. Woo! That was so cool.
That was awesome.
That's why you come to Andros, baby. Woo!
So ideally what you want to do when bone fishing is do what's called leading the fish. Basically, you don't want to cast right on top of them. You want to figure out the direction in which they're moving. And basically you want to cast in front of them so they can intersect right with the bait. But when they're in big schools like this, they're typically not as spooky, especially over here in the Bahamas. Oh. There we go.
Oh, yes.
That one took a little while right there. Woo! They definitely got a little more finicky after Stephanie just caught hers. So we really had to sneak up on them here. And we literally got to the end of this creek here. And I led them real nicely and we got them, baby. Like Stephanie was saying earlier, this is why they call them the gray ghosts of the flats, because not only can they get extremely smart, but they're so hard to see on that grassy, sandy bottom. But when you can get them on this white sand bottom, they stick out like a sore thumb, man. And as you guys just saw, these things can fight. The situation is just so cool though. I mean, when we're in the Bahamas, we look for areas like this just to sit back, relax, sit on a sandbar. And here we are, catching one of the most sought after sport fish. Woo! And I think God honestly gave us the perfect conditions here, because if this was a high outgoing, we could definitely find ourselves in trouble on this flat. But the fact that it's a low incoming, we can keep on working up in here as much as we want without having to worry about getting stuck, even though we've already been stuck a couple times. But he actually ate that pretty deep, so we're gonna have to use some pliers to get that out. Watch how he just disappears. See you later, dude. So after you have a good morning of bone fishing, you got to do a little celebratory sandbar / lunch break right there. Stephanie's getting some pita, chicken salad pitas ready right there. And we're definitely being rewarded right now. Like I was saying earlier, it's still an incoming tide, but this area that we're in right now, God forbid it were an outgoing, we would definitely end up stuck up inside of here. So what I'm trying to actually do is keep an eye on the shoreline. And typically where all the seaweed sits, that's the end of the tide. So as you guys can see, the water is really close to that seaweed right now. So we're about to hit the top of that incoming, and then we got to start being conscious of that tide switching and going out, because when it drops fast. But it's kind of funny, you know, whenever you have beauty like this, it always presents challenges. Nothing good in life comes easy, but every once in a while things just align perfectly. And that is exactly how things have been so far. And especially when you have a chicken salad pita right there. You see, Stephanie loves these horseflies right now, because it gives her an excuse to slap me.
No.
So here's what you do, guys. You bring someone.
You have like 3 on you.
I know, I have like 3 horseflies on me right now. What you do is you bring that family member that of course you love, but every once in a while you want to smack. You take them to North Andros, and this is a perfect excuse to smack them all you want.
Hey,
right,
listen, that is a great excuse, but I will tell you, you can't get everything, right? You can't get the good weather, you can't get the perfect beach, fishing, everything without a little horsefly, right? So
it's always nice to just sit here at the sandbar, take a little break. However,
that's just because you
I know, stop.
This was about to get your face.
Oh, really? Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
You know, I feel like we've only scratched the surface. Stephanie's just loving smacking me right now with all these
No,
horse
there's all
flies.
these horse flies on him, so I'm trying to protect it.
But let's hop in the boat.
And see what we can find.
Just saw a yellowjack swim right under the boat. But we just made a little move offshore here. We're gonna hop in the water real quick, see if we can spear something. Maybe get some dinner for tonight, if we actually feel like cooking. But when nothing's biting, out on the reef, you get in the water and see if you can shoot something. Oh, we got something too. There he is. Woo! That's how you know it's a yellowjack. Tighten that drag a little bit.
Careful with that,
Oh, no, no, no. This is a big yellowjack too, man.
It is.
Look at that, baby. Got a yellowjack on the bucktail.
Look at that.
That's awesome, man. It's a big old thick leader, so we can just flip them in. That's a nice size one right there. That's so awesome, man. We just got out here too. And I just saw him flying right underneath the boat as soon as we dropped the trolling motor. But check out the coloration on him right now. It's like little lightning strikes on the side of him. But that's not a bad way to show up here to the reef, man. That's so freaking cool. I can't believe that just happened. Isn't that crazy? Went ahead and bled him out there. Whenever you bleed a fish, it's just gonna make them taste that much better. Probably not a good thing that we just did that though, being we're about to go in the water. Gonna call in all the sharks. Oh, there's a shark right there.
Oh, that's the one I saw.
All right. Woo!
What did you get there?
Right down the spine, baby. Massive white margate right there, baby. Yoo-hoo! It's a beautiful white margate right there on the pole spear. Basically went right along this ledge here, and he ended up popping up again, took a dive down, and he knew that if he spooked, I was potentially gonna go after him, even though he's a lot faster than I am. But white margates are actually really comparable to fish like mutton snapper, and these are really sought after here in the Bahamas.
When it comes to coming to the Bahamas and Clay and I putting all this together for you guys, it's all fun. But Clay does a lot of work when it comes to editing. He is so artistic when it comes to that, but it's a lot of work and it takes time. So you know what? I just want to say thank you, Clay, and thank you guys for watching. And if you appreciate him as much as I do, go ahead and leave a comment with all your appreciation. Okay, enough of my ramble. Back to you, Clay Gowert.
I can definitely say I'm having an amazing time, but I think the more important question is, what do you think, Stephanie? How's it been so far?
It's been great, honestly. Like everything, I had no expectations.
But I do have to admit, when Stephanie and I first got here, we were a little weary. We were a little sketched out because there's no dock, obviously. Your only option, like we were saying, is just anchoring the boat off the beach. But then these guys showed up in their center console. They're actually from Marathon, which is about an hour down the road from us. And then this yacht pulled up over here. So, you know, it's just cool to know that there's people around, but at the same exact time, everything is still very quiet, feels very remote. And you know, that's just something that you don't get with these resorts here.
We actually forgot the oil. So our neighbors next door, they actually gave us something to fry our fish with, thank God. We also forgot ketchup, hot sauce, anything to basically dress the fish up. So good thing it's fresh.
And good thing it's good fish.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. That's it.
That's it.
Have some French fries with it without ketchup.
Excuse all of our stuff everywhere. We definitely made ourselves at home here. Got the camera equipment all charging here and just stuff everywhere. But pretty big space here, which is pretty cool. More than enough for Stephanie and I. But definitely could bring a family here. But of course, since we got some fresh fish, we got to show you guys what it's all about.
So day 3.
Another beautiful one. Last night, we slept wonderfully with the sounds of the ocean. But look at this view.
Yep, it is looking pretty. Boat looks good. Before we do go, I just want to tell you guys a little bit about our anchoring system that we have going on here. I mean, it's really simple. Just one anchor off the front, another one off the back, and it's as simple as that. I mean, since conditions have been calm, definitely don't have anything to worry about, even though I was a little worried at first. If storms start to kick up in the middle of the night, you better be on your toes. But we don't have to worry about any of that today, because like we said, another perfect day here. So we're gonna crank up the engine, get going, see if we can find some lobsters.
All right, well, we just took our time getting out here, and as you guys can see, it is beautiful out here. I don't think I've ever experienced this many coral heads before when driving. It's definitely nice to have sunlight to your advantage and just being up in the tower, because navigating out here can get bad really, really quick. I mean, luckily a lot of the stuff is marked on the GPS, but I could see how it's really easy to get in trouble out here. But with danger comes beauty, and as you guys can see, I mean, there are just some beautiful patch reefs out here. So this is where we're gonna start. You know, whenever there's a place for these lobsters to hide, like coral heads, ledges, that's ultimately the places that you wanna look. So this is where we're gonna start. Let's see what we can come up with.
Hurry up and come over. Hurry up, come over right next to me. Come right next to me.
lobster yet, but got ourselves a mutton. I'm gonna hurry up and get him in the boat before a shark shows up.
That's a big mutton.
That's a nice one.
Oh no! Get in, get in! Here. There we go. Get in.
Woo!
That's cool.
We're gonna have to do the good old stick and move. Well, we've been looking for lobster all morning, but unfortunately it's been a little tough. As soon as I hopped in here, I saw two really big muttons. Took a dive and here we are. You guys saw all of it, man, but got them in the perfect shot right here by the gill. Didn't sacrifice any meat, went out through the cheek, but that was a money shot. We're still looking for lobster, but I'll take this if we don't get anything else today. Got one, baby.
Yay!
I'm exhausted though.
Were there any more with him?
Nope, it was a lone wolf.
Wow, that's a good size one.
We've spent so much of our day just trying to catch a lobster, and I feel like between this and the mutton snapper in the box, pretty satisfied when it comes to fishing, but not a bad way to start the Bahamian lobster season right there. Well, another day at our cleaning table right here, and we just made it to a place here. I believe it's called Below Deck, but it's a pretty awesome spot right here on the beach, and I'm gonna try to get some drinks, and they're gonna do a cook your catch with our mutton here. What's pretty cool is inside of this little bay here, there's a couple small turtles that keep on poking their head up. I think it's so cool when you get into these little bays here in the Bahamas that are surrounded by these conch shacks. They create like a little sanctuary for these turtles to hang out. But once we get done filleting our mutton, we're gonna be doing the same exact thing as them, floating around in the water and waiting for some food. Just look at those fries though.
I will say that coming here to have it cooked was a good move, but how does it taste, baby?
They could honestly fry anything, and I would imagine it would taste good because this is amazing. But guys, this has been an epic trip. Thank you so much for sticking it out with us this long.
Yeah.
This will definitely go down in the Life by the Bow history.
Oh yeah.
As one of my favorite trips that we've ever done before. It was a challenge, but it was rewarding. It was so much fun at the same exact time. But we love you all. We appreciate you all. I'm sorry, I gotta put down this camera because this is so good right here, man. But until next time, guys, appreciate you. See you then.
Bye guys, thanks for watching.